G'day guys, and welcome to the first ever episode of The Form. My name's Brendan, and here with me is my degenerate brother, Michael.
The one that puts on same game multis, mate, on a regular basis. You can call me a degenerate. How you going, guys?
Yeah, fuck. Glass houses, he reckons. Together each week, we're going to be bringing you, or attempting to, an overview of the data, not opinions, the data of the upcoming NRL matches for the round. So kind of an overview as to why we wanted to start a podcast. We did a bit of research. We had a look at what podcasts were already available. We saw a lot of ill-informed opinions, but not a lot out there based on purely just data, looking at the numbers. But if there is podcasts out there that do that, fuck them, we're better. So we've kind of going off the motto that we've always had a little saying between us that men lie, women lie, but data doesn't.
And that's if you read the data correctly. And we've been burnt by that in the past.
Data must be interpreted.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I think 17th time now, I think we're getting it right. So we'll see how we go. But so the way the show's going to work each week, we're just going to compare what our data prediction tells us, where we see the line. We're going to make our own line, make our own total, see where our totals match up to what the books are offering. And we're going to try and give you the best edge. So we're not going to bore you to death about off-field indiscretions like weekend at Vorney's, or we're attacking structures and who's got the best left to right pass. We're just going to tell you what the numbers tell us and how we can ensure that after the final whistle's blown, the players aren't the only ones getting paid. So we're kind of going to bring a real Moneyball Vegas sportsbook perspective on the NRL to you guys. And we're massive on American content. We're massive on American sport. We love what they do over there. We see a lot of really good content providers. We kind of we've taken inspiration from them and try and introduce it to the NRL market. So something we're really excited about.
Yep, no pressure at all there, Bren. But I guess in the context of things, and we will go through some games, NRL is where we're at. And we compare our lines, so we manufacture our own lines, our own totals, and we compare them with what comes out with the bookmakers. Obviously, it's been a dark day on the sports markets, Bren. Absolutely everything written off today. No MLB due to All-Star break. NBA's on rest day. NHL's over. So that just leaves a gall of dogs, which is basically you don't want to go there if you don't have to.
That's on
Sorry, mate.
That's on the next episode.
Yeah, that's next episode. That's coming up. So basically, today's been a really good opportunity for us to sit down, go through the numbers for this round. Again, we find that post-origin is an absolute goldmine sweet spot for NRL. And again, we're not going to give full comprehensive previews, game previews. This is about data. This is about where we can maximize return on investment out of these games. Not letting the players be the only ones that get paid out of this, which is always a good thing. So far, we've run this model for 2 seasons. So just a caveat there, it is a bit fresh, but we're hitting over 74% currently, which equates to an ROI of over 41%, which is sensational in my view. Any serious bettor out there knows that, it's over 70% is not sustainable long term. We totally agree with that. We're not here to try and say, we're going to be hitting 75, 80% all the time, because you can't do it. Not in this game. So in saying that, our benchmark is to hit over 54.5%, because then you are making money long term. So yeah, we're going to have some great wins. We're going to have some losses. Losses are a part of this business. So if you can't handle that, then this is probably not for you. But again, it's going great guns, guys. So we're going to go through the data. But again, in saying this too, when we do give out some games, they're going to be at line odds. So around even money, just under evens. So the first question you get, and Bren, back me up if I'm wrong, is we give out some tips. I'm going to put them all on a multi. Tell me one guy that's rich long-term off of multis, Brennan. I mean, you've been in the game. You know that it's the bookmaker's gold mine, basically. It's why they spend so much time in advertisement for multis. You're not gonna make money off them long term.
And right, and I'll just add to that. Working in the industry, I can safely say that multis, particularly same game multis, are a bookmaker's most profitable product, and that's why so much of their advertising. You look at certain sports books. I won't name names, but you can tell which ones I'm talking about. Pump so much advertising and marketing spend into promoting that product because it's their biggest money maker. So
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. So there's a reason it's its biggest moneymaker, that they want to give the impression to you, that the punter, that you're getting value. At the same time, you're not. So there's more risk involved. So please
and
multi our picks.
So I guess the way to play this, guys, is we will give out our bets. We will give a best bet. It's basically operating off a bankroll. You cut up that bankroll, and we can do other videos on this. We're not going to do it today. We're just going to give you guys basically what you're tuning in for, is the tips. But you don't want to be betting over more than 2 to 3% of that total bankroll. If you do, you're going to hit a losing spill. You're going to be up in arms and refunding that bankroll pretty quick. So long term, increasing ROI is what we're all about in the long game.
Yeah, and like Mick said, in future we are aiming to give out some and produce some episodes based on topics such as bankroll management. Looking for trap lines and how much units should I bet, what's a unit, all this type of things, that all these sports betting things that the punter may not know about as such, and would like to get some more knowledge on. So we're going to try and equip you with the tools to ensure that you maximize your bankroll and you stay in the game long term. So we're looking forward to producing those in the future. But right now we're going to dive straight into the upcoming.
Yeah, game. That's enough dribbling at the moment. Let's give the punters what they pay for.
But before we do, I must always say as a disclaimer,
straight from the compliance department.
Straight from the compliance department, we must admit and we must stress that these picks that we're giving out are for entertainment purposes only. We're not trying to coerce you to bet or force you to bet. They're just for entertainment. And if you do decide to take our tips and have a wager, that you do so responsibly. Please don't go over the top. And this is where bankroll management comes into play, but please gamble responsibly. So on that rather sour note, let's get into it. Look at the first game of the weekend. 6 o'clock time slot on Friday night. One of the only games of the week that's been confirmed that actually has a venue. The Titans taking on the Eagles, Nick.
Well, it definitely helps that they've got a venue, Brent. I'm not sure if we're going to see the quality of footy come out of this game, mate. But look, the early game, basically, as I said before, we manufacture our own line and our own total. We compare that with the bookmakers. So our line has come out at Eels -12, so to win by 12 or more, with a total sitting at 47.5. The books opened up at Eels -5.5 with a total of 49.5. So definitely some value with the line, Bren. Eels by 12 we've got, so that's what, 6.5 points in our favour. So look, on laddies, they normally offer, Ladbrokes that is, they normally offer even money for lines on the Friday night. So I'm happy to take laddies at -6 instead of taking the 5.5 elsewhere and paying juice. Again, we're about maximising your return on investment. You don't want to pay juice where you have to. So we'll take the even money there for a 2-unit play. So the Eels -5.5, -6 with Ladbrokes will be our best bet for the week.
We'll just add to that. You look at bookmakers like TopSport, have the same line, 6 flat for $1.85. So you can really start seeing those steam moves early. And that would be a tremendous value hitting Ladbrokes at the even. So definitely something to think about.
Worst is you're going to get a push if it hits the 6. But right, as I said, we've got the Eels winning this by a couple of tries.
The benefit of hitting the whole number. Onto the 8 o'clock game, Friday night prime time. Sea Eagles taking on the Dragons.
Again, this was a strange one, mate, because most of the markets had this game suspended. The only bookmaker that I could find a line on this was Bet365. Everyone else had it off the books. I only assume because they're probably waiting on Desi to give us some late mail if he's going to rest the Origin players. Very heavily Origin dependent this game. So look, on that basis, our data's come out for the Eagles winning it by 10 or more. So Eagles -10 with a total of 46. So the books opened up, Bet365 opened up with the Eagles -22.5 before it was taken down everywhere else. On that basis, assuming that the Bet365 have moved late, I'm not sure if the books have reintroduced odds on this game yet. I have put us down for a unit on that. So for the Dragons +22.5, assuming that Desi may rest. So you've got quite a few players involved on both sides of the Origin tomorrow night. So we're all about finding value. I believe that is a clear-cut notice that there's something up with this game. So you always go contrarian when there's something up, and contrarian play is the Dragons plus the points.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on to the real blockbuster, if you call it, the Saturday 3 o'clock time slot of the Raiders and the Sharks.
Correct. This is going to be an absolute belter, not. Basically, with this game, mate, we've got the Sharks winning it by 6 or more. So Sharks -6 is our line with a total of 43.5. The books open the Sharks up at -4.5. I've seen that move down to 3.5. That means that there's money coming in on the Raiders for some reason. The total's at 49.5. Again, not too Origin dependent. I'll let you get into there if there's any late mail on that game. But I see value with the total on this one. I've got a 6-point variance on our total. So I'm going to put us in for the Raiders and Sharks under 49.5 points.
And the one thing about this game is, particularly from the Sharks' perspective, there is no Origin impact on that team. So the one thing with data is we want consistency when we're looking at teams' points scored, points conceded, and all the different facets that the data provides us. So having the same team week in, week out really gives us a really good indication of what they're going to do. So having no impact on that team, and the Raiders, they've named Papali'i and Whiten. I'm unsure if they will. I mean, it's a big game. I'm expecting them to back up. I'm not too sure, but I'm expecting them to back up. So if they are, again, really consistent team. So data-wise, so yeah, fingers crossed that under comes off for us, because I do definitely think that this isn't a massive under game. So, all right, moving on to the 5:30 time slot. The Cowboys take on the Roosters.
Cowboys and Roosters, look, potential value. Again, dependent. Excuse me. Again, dependent on what happens with the Origin, because Roosters do have a few players in there. But look, I don't think Teddy's been 100%. To be honest, Brent, he just hasn't been his elusive self. So even if he does back up, look, we're not going to touch this game. It's not going to be in our card. My line, or our line, is the Roosters -7. So to win by 7 or more, with the total sitting at 48 points. The books open up with the Roosters at -8.5. Given the Roosters are a big public team, that's been bet out already to 9.5. I reckon this will hit 11s, possibly even 12s before kickoff, because the public love to bet the Roosters. They do have a lot of depth there. So being the contrarian value punter in me, if that does blow out, I'm happy to sit off and watch it. If it does blow out to around 11s or 12s, I'm happy to get 2 tries with the Cowboys. I think there is value there. So I'll be taking Cowboys plus the points, but staying out of our card for now.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of the games that we encourage sniping early, but this is definitely a game, the way that the market is going, just hold off. And if it hits that number, then it could be something to definitely consider adding into your card closer to kickoff. Moving on into the 7:30 time slot on a Saturday night, the Storm take on Newcastle.
Again, pretty heavy on the Origin front in terms of being dependent on players backing up. Storm, we know they've got so much depth. They've been kicking everyone's ass for a number of weeks now by plenty of points. They just don't seem to be slowing down. But our numbers came out with the Storm only -12, which I find interesting. So to win by 12 or more, with the total sitting at 45 points. The books opened up the Storm at -19.5, with a total of 49.5. So again, not ultra keen on this game, but the value is sitting currently with the Knights plus the points. If that blows out further, similar to the situation with the Roosters, Brent, the public loves to get on the Storm. So they love to put them in their multis, as we talked about before. So if that blows out, probably around the 20s, 22, we'll jump on the Knights plus the points.
Knights plus the points, he reckons. All right, I like it. And I will admit, the Knights, as you said, dependent on if Ponga backs up, but they do have Tyson Frizzell back too. So that's something.
Ponga will be a big in. Again, having most of their team back together, they do play well as a unit. The Knights, they've been decimated for the majority of this season. So definitely value if they're all backing up.
I think because it's such a big game too, I think they're going to probably try and push for Ponga to come back. But like I said, we will keep you informed. We're attempting to start a Twitter account too, so that's how another platform that we can keep you guys in the loop with anything that we hear. So moving on to the first game of the triple header on Sunday, the Warriors taking on the Penny Panthers, as the locals call them.
Yeah, Penny Panthers are in all sorts at the moment with no half pairings. Mate, again, heavily dependent on Origin. I think you've got everyone plus your cheerleaders in that New South Wales side at the moment, and even a couple in the Queensland squad. So I'm not keen on the line. Our numbers came out the Panthers winning this by minus 21.5, so to win by 21 or more. Again, the data in that line is built on Cleary and Luai being a part of that team for most of the season. So again, I don't know if it's giving us a true reflection because the books opened up Panthers minus 9.5 this morning. I haven't seen any shifts yet, but heavily depend on Origin. The total I've got at 42. The books opened up at 48.5, so big variance there. Where are the points going to come from? I can't see this being a high-scoring game. I'm happy to take that variance. Very close to a 2-unit play for us. So Panthers Warriors under 48.5.
Now, just to add on to that, we say, like a lot of the data will probably come from Luai and Cleary as a starting half. That's where the total points for come in. That's why it would be so high with those two starting. But you look at the last couple of games that Tyrone May and Burton have steered the side, no points or minimal points. So I definitely think that's going to play a role in the under. So I'm definitely happy with that underplay. The real game of the round, the Sunday 4:00 game of the round time slot. And fuck me, it's a real game of the round, this one.
Mate, this is an absolute blockbuster. You can't knock the Bronx, mate. They've got a good win last week. It's only up for them. They can't go to the cellar. They've been there for too long. But look, numbers came out. This is probably our biggest variance of the round, funny enough. And this is where you find the value is in sort of the non-origin dependent games as we enter the sweet spot for the rest of the year. So we've got the Tigers at minus 13 to win this by 13 or more, with the total at 48, nearly 49 points. So in saying that, the books opened up Broncos as favourites. I don't know if there's the Prentice on. I'm not sure if you got your job back, mate, but I tell you what, I don't know what they're thinking opening up the Broncos at minus 3.5, unless there's some mail that we don't know about. So I'm not sure if there's anything on the late mail on this game, Bren. But that's
coming back in, you reckon?
Well, mate, as I said, if there's no mail on that, we are definitely taking the Tigers plus the points. Yeah. I believe they might have opened up at -4 because the line is now -3. There's still some offering 4 points for the Tigers. So if I can find that, I'm going to grab that tonight. And that's going to be a 2-unit best bet play for us.
Best bet play, if heard it first. Tigers, if you can get +4. Try your go shopping, see where you can find it. All the books.
This is all about finding value, Brennan. Absolutely correct. You're going to have to search bookmakers high and low. They're all offering different promotions, different odds, different lines. So it's important to do your shopping.
I understand. This is definitely a topic we're probably going to look at covering in future episodes too. The value of shopping and looking at different bookmakers for those top odds, because that's how you maximise your ROI. So, all right, moving on to the final game. Could be any result. This could be close, could be a blowout. But we've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the Doggies.
Dogs are an absolute NRL light switch, mate. As I said, we've backed them. We've been on their heavy lines. They've been producing double-digit lines nearly all season. Look what the Eagles did to them a couple of weeks back. We were heavy on them with the data supporting that. Didn't cover for us. Didn't cover by about three lengths, I reckon. It was ridiculous. But then they come and play the Roosters last week, and they could have easily outright won that game. So again, 20 plus was aligned with them. For this game, we've got the Dogs plus 16. So Souths to win this by 16 or more, with a total at 45, just sitting under 46 points. Souths opened up at -25.5 this morning, and with a total of 52.5. So look, again, if all players back up for Souths, obviously the public are going to get on them. I can see that blowing out to around 28 points before kickoff by the end of Sunday. So if that happens, look, there's definitely value on the dogs. As Bren will tell you, they haven't been on our bet list for a while. They've been on and off of it, but definitely the contrarian play for that one will be to watch that dogs line. If it blows out, might even sneak a unit on them.
The old no bet list, eh? It doesn't stick very long, does it? One
That's
week
right.
afternoons. But well, we're just going to do a quick recap of all those bets. So Mick, just go through game by game summary, and I'll get this.
So if you can get them on the screen. So best bet 2-unit play is Eels -6 with Ladbrokes at even money. We've then taken the Dragons at +22.5, Raiders and Sharks under 49.5, Dogs +22.5. Again, that's dependent, but I have put it in there. Knights +19.5. We've got the Panthers Warriors game under 48.5. Another 2-unit play on the Tigers +4 if you can get it. That's good all the way up to a pick 'em. Yeah. I wouldn't go any further under that. Souths and Dogs under 52.5. So that's our card for the round.
That's our card. Please take note, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
So best of luck on that. Again, hopefully we're going to be back next week. If the 0 bets come off, then you might not see us again. No, but all jokes. We're pretty confident about these bets producing. Again, it's all analytical. We're going to have good weeks. We're going to have, some up and down weeks, but it's all about the long-term game.
You ask any pro punter across either Australia and the US, and it's never, they've had losing weeks, they've had losing months, and I'm sure they've even had losing years. So,
and just one more thing to add about the game. So obviously we're in relocation. If we're in Sydney, we're obviously in lockdown here. So a lot of the games have relocated. I have checked the weather in the Sunshine State, and it is sunny. So we shouldn't come into too many issues with the totals, specifically around the totals from a weather point of view.
So, well, there you have it. Thank you for tuning into our very first episode of The Form. I'm Brendan. That's Mick. We'll hopefully see you next week. Good luck if you decide to have a wager. And like Homer Simpson says, it's my first day.
Best of luck, guys.
We'll catch you next week. There we have it.